There was a question here saying, can a married person stay with his parents if his parents are dependent on him financially, or father is old, mother is dead? Well, there is no law in the Bible on that, and so I will not make a law. The Bible, Jesus said in Mark 7, that you must care for your parents. You read Mark 7, honor your father and mother, and he related it to giving money to your parents to look after them when they are old. Turn to that verse. I think it's Mark 7:14 or something. He related it to honor your father and mother. And don't tell your parents, oh, I gave that money to God or I gave that money somewhere else, when you should have given it for their support. So, and if your parents are in need, you have to take care of them. Jesus, hanging on the cross, cared for his mother. Even though that mother had 4 other sons and 2 other daughters, but they were unbelievers. So he told John, his cousin, John, you take my mom into your home and let her be mother to you. He cared. In the midst of all his pain, he cared for his mother. That's what it means to follow Jesus. To care for your old parents is a very good example. Of course, those who are lazy and don't want to any inconvenience in their lives say, we don't want to do anything with our father or mother or father-in-law or mother-in-law. We'll have nothing to do with them. We just want to enjoy life ourselves. That is a selfish, self-centered way of living, and you will reap the consequence of that type of living. You honor your father and mother, it will go well with you. I can tell you, it will go well with you. So, but now, what does it mean when it says in Genesis 2, therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. This relationship between man and woman in marriage is the most closest earthly relationship. It speaks about one flesh. They are to be one with each other. That type of oneness they must not have with their parents. In other words, the leaving must be emotional. It's not always possible. Physical is not always possible because, if you're rich and you got a good job, physical is good. But I've been enough in the villages of Tamil Nadu, and most of you have not been to those villages, so you can have your theories. But I've been to the villages of Tamil Nadu where I see people are so poor that sometimes they have to stay with their parents. What do I say? Let your parents starve and live by yourself? I say, no, if that's the only thing that can happen, stay with your parents. That's okay. But don't let them control your life. That's the point. It's an emotional control detachment. And I'll tell you the other way around. There are people who live there separately in other house, sometimes miles away from their parents, or in another city. And boy, with long distance, those parents are controlling that boy. He's not detached from his parents, even though he's living 1,000 miles away. His parents are controlling him. When he wants to take a decision, he doesn't take it along with his wife. He has to discuss with his dad and mom. That is what it means to leave your father and mother. Don't let them control your life. You can live next door to your father and mother in the same house and never let them control your life. I've done that because we were so poor when Annie and I got married. Never once did I let her parents or my parents control one single day of my life. I disagreed with them, I had discussions with them and strong disagreements, and I said, no, we're going to run our life. That is important. I believe there are many of you who satisfy yourself that you're living at a distance, 1,000 miles away from your parents, but you're letting them control your life still, you men. I'm not saying you shouldn't care for them. By all means, care for them. Don't go to the other extreme that you don't care for them. If they're old and they need to be taken care of, let them live with you. Yes, my father and mother have stayed in our home, and Annie's parents too. We don't regret that ever. So when you think of marriage,